Bride of Chucky's on. I always thought that was a funny continuation of it. The other ones are not that good. I wonder what else is on. Dinner is another easy night. Thankfully, I don't feel like cooking. I mean, I feel like cooking, but now I feel a needle going into my ass yet again. A flashback to it. One, anyway. So let me tell you about the sick pieces of shit trying to convince me I was blind because of their fucking drug sales and charging people at a fucking public historic landmark with loaded firearms and their goddamn dumbass friends in EMS with their fucking there is no stop, drop, and roll in hell bullshit. Premonition's on. It's a movie with Sandra Bullock. It's actually a pretty good movie. And then Mrs. Doubtfire comes on in a little bit. Who can't watch that movie? Or who doesn't like that movie? I literally just felt something press up against my left ass cheek. They're not sensory hallucinations to my knowledge. There, Mrs. Doubtfire. Tune in. I'd rather watch Premonition, so previous. And that's my life living with my neuropsychiatric physical disabilities. Telling myself, I'd rather watch Premonition, so previous. It's not me talking to some imaginary person inside my head or hearing some imaginary person speaking to me. I'm assuming most people have an inner dialogue, just like her looking at herself in the mirror, probably thinking to herself, oh, is my hair okay? Now, forgive me if I'm wrong, but learning humanity, that's pretty much how we're supposed to think and behave. Only for people to run in and make their certain claims. Like I said, that Hereditary movie, how they teach those people to believe in like the occult and witchcraft and what you believe is, or what we believe is what you're going to believe, or else. That's pretty much how my family was. But you know, that wasn't a crime either, because things like conversion reparative therapy are still totally legal in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. For those assholes to continually harass me because of their illegal activities during my childhood is absolutely unacceptable. I was permanently physically disabled. Just because I can get up and walk the neighborhood doesn't mean I can work the jobs that I want to do. Thank God I was able to get by 3 months at Tyson. I was ready to walk out the first night because I was in so much pain I wanted to die. 3 months of that kind of pain took its toll. And it's not, you know, me just not being able to cope or handle the job. I loved it. Loved that job. It was just too physically stressful. I'll find another job. The job before that one fired me for my mental health. I tried to explain it to them. I'm not trying to be a bitch. I'm not trying to be insubordinate. I'm simply stating a fact. Your systems are shit, for one thing. At least 4 web interfaces and at least 3 programs run on a server on a system that crashes normally daily. You people need to streamline your shit. Instead of first saying, I'm not following the script enough, then saying, I'm too scripted. My apologies. I'm doing the best I can. I requested the accommodation. It was supposedly granted, and they terminated me anyway. Then started claiming they didn't get their equipment returned. Like I had stated, I had to go through 2 training sessions because they didn't get me half the shit I needed on time. So I trained with about, 50 people altogether. By the time I was terminated for my mental health, only one other person that I had gone through both training courses with was still employed there, to my knowledge. They were a shit company to work for, Teleperformance USA. They fired me for my mental health, claiming I just wasn't following procedure and protocol when I had requested an accommodation. Tried to, anyway. So, they should have, told me we're no longer, willing to put up with your mental health, and I would have just resigned. Like I did with Tyson. There was one of the managers during the night shift that seemed to be implying that, he would be saying that I should be terminated for Tourette's during my break time outside. So I just went ahead and resigned. Not only was the physical stress enough, I could tell that they didn't like the Tourette's syndrome either. So I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm resigning. Nanette's sick anyway, she's going through this surgery, whatever. What killed me, one of the procedural things with Tyson was, okay, you at times will have to, direct the packages as they're going to the pallet. You had an area where you packed, and then you put it on a different conveyor belt so that it could be, transported to the area where people would be loading. A lot of times the packages would not flow properly. The emergency shutoff switch for that conveyor belt is on the exact opposite side of where they stationed people. That was a huge problem. I need the belt stopped to be able to do this safely. That was the one qualm with Tyson on line 6. So I just went ahead and resigned. The physical stress was too much, and I could tell that they didn't understand the Tourette's syndrome or my religion, even though, they were quite accepting of all religions. They even gave people time to, I don't know what religion exactly they were. I know they used a kneeling pad and, would do prayer in the locker room. They gave people time to do that as needed, according to their religion, which is, a nice thing. But me, when it came to my religion and Tourette's, they had a concern. I just found it very odd. I didn't feel persecuted by it at all. Most people have questions. I get tired of answering them most of the time because I just don't have the energy. Right now, I'm laying in bed. It's the middle of the afternoon, not exerting any real physical energy other than speaking. Some new human trafficking thing told me to give them some more information, and they'd try to put me in touch with a pro bono attorney. I haven't responded to it yet because, fear of the unknown. I deserve to be in my own home, helping people as I so choose, without, someone saying, this is how things are. Yes, that is your reality. I clean when I can. I do what I can when I can. Your reality is not mine. You were not bludgeoned as a child to the point that your skull was fractured. I'm not clinging to it. It's simply a fact. My body has to operate in a different form than yours. Muscular control, joint rolling, like Ehlers Danlos, pretty much. None of that's ever taken into account, to the point I was carried around by my underwear at times in a wedgie because, you're not listening. It was absolutely sickening. It was torture. I am not going to put up with any other law enforcement official trying to cover up the goddamn story even further. They want to cry about my behavior due to Tourette's. It's annoying a fucking enough for me. It's protected in public. Get the fuck over it. You would think if my cousin cares as much as she claims she does, and to law enforcement, she would have at least told me that there were attorneys in the building she works in. When I was taking her equipment back to the office one time, I looked at the board of like who's in the building, and I'm like, oh, there are lawyers here. Oh yeah, didn't I mention that? No. Something so simple, I'm not trying to blow that out of proportion or make outrageous claims. I'm simply stating my cousin who cares so much. And the Wesley, she was involved in the Wesleyan Church. She wasn't as involved with me growing up because she was here in Hamilton County. But my cousin who cares so much, and they took her statement about, this is what I believe was happening. My bedroom door right here, I've had to screw the things in. And let me show you why. When I'm changing, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to have to fix it again. I was holding myself on the door because, believe it or not, I need assistance with daily living activities like changing. That's why I use things, lean on them, etc. She assumed I was slamming the door. But of course, they see one set of behavior one time and they just automatically assume for the rest of my life. It is not my fault. I was bludgeoned and raped. And that my family, including her, did nothing to make sure that the people that had done it were brought to justice. They just sat back, bitching and complaining that I couldn't keep up with them. Her own admission was, I like teasing you. I don't find it very fucking funny. That teasing is seen as bullying for me. I have had to live with it my entire life. People expect me to change every aspect about myself to make them more comfortable. But then they fucking ask degrading questions like, is that a woman's coat? Why are you carrying a bag? I don't feel persecuted by it in any form. I'm disgusted by it. It's none of your goddamn business, for starters, but if you're going to judge me for something that stupid, I definitely don't want you in my life. That bullying leading to suicide? Thank you.